The Americans were stupid. We let the hostiles come in here, as well as liberating women into the politics and the workforce at the same time, thereby opening Pandora's box without equally limiting female antisocial behavior and warfare. Well, it's pretty easy to equally limit female antisocial behavior and means of warfare. This turns out to be a thing called truth, which I think is ironically humorous.
Wait, lost on many. The
fact that the way you defeat the female means of antisocial behavior is truth and reciprocity is kind of humorous to me, but in the end, that's all that's necessary.
Ask 100 guys how they would prefer to make decisions. Would they prefer truth and reciprocity or let their wife do it for them? Just saying, it's a thought. Like out of 100, what do we get back? I want to see it in the comments below.
Well, I mean, in what sphere? At home, I'd rather my wife make.
Oh yeah, not at home.
In politics, I don't want that. I mean, she can have her nest if I can have my polity, and we both benefit, right? I'll live in her nest, and she gets to live in my polity. But we're not going to let women run the fucking polity and the nest. They ruin everything. What good and evil does is it allows you to create this illusion that you're doing good rather than creating order by which good results. Order and chaos is like rule of law. It's just about the reality. Good and evil are opinions. So just as the extension of the cognitively male systematizing is order and chaos, the cognitively female is desirable and undesirable, or good and evil. They live in this little fantasy that they can have, and they lie to people that they can have it. Well, what do mothers do to children? They lie to their children so that they feel that they have a chance in life, to give them the incentive to keep going. No woman says, "You're right, my baby's fucking ugly."
Why?
No woman says.
Unimaginable. Unimaginable.
You're right. My kid's fucking stupid.
Oh my.
What the enemy is saying is, just like what mothers say to their children, you can cheat Mother Nature. What they're really saying is, human beings need the confidence to keep going in the face of adversity. For children, it's not always a false promise, because without that encouragement from their mother, they wouldn't engage in the trial and error necessary and bear the risk. But when you're
bankrupt,
right? But at the business scale, you go bankrupt. The civilizational scale, you go into decline. The kind way of looking at them, which is the normal feminine mind, is they care, right? They want to care for each other. They think that we can agree on things. No, we can only prevent each other from disagreeing on things. When by disagreeing, I mean committing crimes.
Right.
And so this is the problem. How many things do women invent? How many things does the female mind invent? They actually invent new means of consumption. They invent new means of undermining. The male mind can't compete that way because it doesn't have intrinsic value. So do you blame a woman for being a woman? No, you just don't try to reason with women about things that are beyond their perception. You don't try to reason with men about things which are beyond theirs. When my wife says it's better for the kids if we do that, she's always right. If you look at Einstein, he's wrong about everything except his theories of physics. And even then we turn out he was wrong because he did math like a woman with pictures. What the Democratic Party and the socialists did is they told everybody their opinion had merit and value. Oh, really? That's what they did.
Well, it was effective enough.
Well, and then look what women say. Women have a right to be heard. No, they fucking don't. People don't have a right to be heard. You have a right to talk to the goddamn wall because you can't, but you don't have a right to my attention. That's a theft. Correct. So that's the origin of this behavior.
I know.
The origin of behavior is I have a right to be heard. Means I have a right to undermine. We can't underestimate how important mindfulness is and how frankly easy it is for men to have it versus how hard it is for women to have it. And again, I'm meaning the male brain and the female brain because there's some men who are cognitively female. Unfortunately, we've created a system where because it's permissive, it's possible to get status for being the mean girls And we've essentially institutionalized the behavior of mean girls from high school, or from puberty for that matter, into a political system called woke. It's just mean girls trying to undermine, gaining status by undermining. Now they think it's in pursuit of a good. Well, this is only true if in your illusory little happy effeminate mind that you think we're all capable of equality. In other words, it's hard for the people of the female cognitive spectrum to even tolerate the fact that it would be genetics and class and whatever, and that we have material differences in value to one another in the material world. This dream of equality is essentially females without children trying to apply their instinct beyond its role, its capacity.
Better if you said cat ladies.
Karens. The big thing is that why is female mental illness so prevalent in the first place? Why is it so prevalent and exacerbated in the West? We know that around 40% of women at any given time are experiencing a symptom of mental illness. And effectively, liberalism is an expression of mental illness. Karens are mentally ill. Now, why? It's like, why do some of us guys want to punch in the face faster than us? And some of us just like, who gives a shit? I'm sorry I bothered you, let's move along. It's very much a status thing. They have sufficient control because of the introduction of women into the workforce, because women are the primary target of education, advertising, and hyperconsumption that feeds the financial, administrative, and academic classes. Women's means of exercising political power under democracy has wiped out males' institutional formation as a means of exercising political force. And as such, the only place left for men is, of course, their natural tendency. This neighbors of mine, very loud woman, very annoying woman, husband I appreciate greatly, but very loud, annoying woman, crazy woman, always complaining, right, that X, Y, and Z was possible. But I'm like, you're just claiming that what you feel can scale. And this is what you nearly find in all women, is that they believe their knitting circle can scale. And that's despite the fact that women undermine each other at every fucking opportunity.
Except when challenged, they will always stand together against the man.
Fixing school education is, we know how to do it. We just can't do it while preserving the lie of equality. We can say, we can produce relative equality of outcome, in other words, successful people, and take responsibility for that. We can say the lie of equality and not equally prepare people for the world, which is what they're doing. That's why our education system sucks. And it's all full of women who want to believe that stupid shit. I said that just to get a reaction out of you. Human incentives are pretentious under communism. I mean, they're not if you're a female because you believe silly magical things. Excuse me. You're not if you have the female cognitive bias. If you have that, you might intuit that people are going to fall into communism, except they don't. I mean, only a person who's mentally infantile, which is what the feminine mind is so that it can empathize with children. Only a person who's infantilized would think that. Or you could say infantilized, you could say inexperienced, you could say indoctrinated. All of those things produce the same thing.
So it's like this, what it appears you're describing that is the fostering the communism, which my interpretation is what has been called by some thinkers of the current epoch is pseudo thinking, and it acts to justify unethical behaviors.
Right. What's a child trying to do? Get shit from its parents.
Right. So it's right? Like I lied to you.
What's a woman trying to do? Get shit from other men and sometimes other women when necessary. Will women ever become rational? It won't matter. You still have to voice the problem of, but we want it, but we'll resist you.
Right.
We'll fight you.